What is 3D in-ear monitoring? Unlike in a normal stereo situation, where you would place all the signals between your left and your right ear, with 3D in-ear monitoring, you can place all the signals all around your head and even above and below. This not only gives you a very natural feel for your co-musicians on stage, but it gives you transparency. In a regular stereo mix, transparency gets achieved by cutting frequencies. That means the guitars are getting thinner, the keys and pads are losing some body and presence. Don't blame your engineer for that, it's the only weapon he has. But with Klangfabrik, transparency gets achieved by placement and not by cutting frequencies. That means you can place all the signals, very full, fat, broadband and rich, in different angles around your head and still hear all the nuances very, very clearly. A very important use case for this is ambience microphones. As you might know, in a normal situation, ambience microphones are either too low in the mix and you don't really hear them, or they are so loud that they are cluttering up your mix. With Klangfabrik, you can just place the ambience microphones in one direction and crank them up really loud and even compress them if you like, so you really can feel what the audience is doing. We control Klangfabrik with this app for tablets, Mac, PC and iPhone. We are even working on implementing a remote control for some digital mixers. Since we're all musicians and technicians ourselves, we included some very helpful features. Like this, watch this. Let's say you are the lead vocalist and your voice is already on maximum, but you feel that you still want some more of your voice in your mix. Usually you would have to go and pinch down all the other faders and screw up your whole mix by doing that. Look what we can do. Did you see what happened? All the other faders moved down simultaneously, maintaining the relative mix while your voice got louder. But this is only the side show of what we can do. Let's go to the main show. This is what we call the orbit view. The gray area represents your head, your nose and your viewing direction. Everything that is in the gray area is in this normal stereo field and unprocessed. Everything that is on the purple circle around it is in a 3D field. That means in this case, the lead vocals would be in front of you, the drums behind you, bass beside it and so on. If I press here again, I get to the elevation view, where I can lift the signals above me or below me. Talk is cheap, so let's listen to it. First, I put it into stereo mode so you can familiarize yourself with the mix. Okay, now 3D.
Wo ein Jahrhundert von den Wänden fällt, ist unsere Zuflucht und jetzt fragen wir, braucht man die...
Did you hear that? Everything got wider, much more transparent. So, now the vocals are in front of you. Let me put them over your left shoulder. Or behind you. Back to the front. Or let's lift them up. Or down below. Let's go back to stereo one more time. Did you feel that? How everything collapsed inside your head? It's ridiculous, huh? But this is what you're working with right now. Let's go back to 3D. Much better, huh? It sounds amazing and it's very easy to use and very intuitive. But there's one more thing I didn't show you yet. With our Klang Vector, we have an optional motion tracking where we can attach a little chip to your existing in-ear phones, which will track your head movement. So let's imagine you're a singer, you're standing in front of the stage, you're having the audience in front of you and you're hearing them from the audience microphones. You hear the drummer from behind you, bassist from beside, keyboardist, guitarist and so on. You want to turn around to the drummer to give him a cue. You turn around and you hear him from in front of you. So everything is staying where it is on stage. This gives you a very realistic and very natural feeling on stage. It actually feels like an acoustic show without any sound reinforcement. After a few seconds, you have forgotten that you were wearing in-ear phones. To experience this effect, please download the free KLANG app from the App Store. We included some multi-tracks there, so you can play around with it. Just attach your headphones to the iPad. Enter the i3D mode, and then hold your iPad in front of you and turn around with it. Just imagine you're on stage. You won't believe what you're hearing. Make sure to check out Klangfabrik, the game-changing 3D in-ear monitoring solution for 8 musicians at a time. Thank you for listening.
Ja, Dankeschön.